From building student communities in AI to solving real world problems in Japanese agriculture, today's guest shows how she carved her own path across borders, disciplines, and cultures, and why perseverance, creativity, and confidence are her greatest tools. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Deniza Robinson. So, hi Deniza, I am really looking forward to this conversation. So, what exactly motivated you to pursue mathematics and statistics as a career?
Hello, everyone. Well, that's a really good question to ask. First of all, I always loved challenges since a childhood, and mathematics was not always got easy for me back in high school or when I was in lower school. And I was first studying in Russia, mathematical school, very difficult. Then I moved to Canada, and because of the language barrier, difficult. However, I always wanted to pursue challenges, and mathematics is a topic, it's a beauty. If you know math, you can ace and learn other subjects, other things in your life. So I actually decided, why not I overcome my weakness and make something my strength, mathematics, so that the new roads, new doors will open for me and I'll discover what I really love. During my university, I actually switched from mathematics to statistics because I wanted to pursue both math and stats. Statistics helps me to analyze, think critically, and make assumptions when something is wrong, not just in the subjects, but in the real world. And it's a very useful. Mathematics is everywhere. It's in language, it's in computers. So I thought, why not combine together and gain? That's what really pursued me to study math and stats, is to overcome my challenges and to grow from this challenge to be a better person.
Right. So you did mention that you studied mathematics in Russia as well. So I believe that would be a different education system. So would you say it was a higher education system than what we have here in North America? And was it easier for you to transition from that education system to this one?
Mhm. The education system in Moscow, especially mathematics, is a lot higher and a lot difficult than in North America. However, when I transitioned from Moscow to Canada and studied mathematics, algebra and geometry would tend to be a lot easier and understandable. However, the word problems, the real world scenarios, were also difficult because English was my second language and I wasn't really good with English. So there is like differences. What's so good about mathematics in Moscow is that the word problems are a lot easier and way more logical. So once you read a word problem, it will make sense what is asking. But in North America, it requires some time to understand. So yeah, there's all pluses and minuses, I would say.
I see. And would you say that the education system here is a lot easier than the one you had in Moscow?
That's a very tough question because education in Moscow is very difficult and requires discipline, determination, and hard work. So does in Canada. For example, in Moscow, we have we may have other subjects that are strong: history, mathematics, science. Those are a lot difficult. But when it comes to languages, for example, learning English, learning French, I believe Canada has a lot better opportunities with learning languages, and it's a lot difficult also. So, so to answer your question, I think Moscow teaches more students in terms of history, science, and more advanced levels. But in language, no.
I see. Uh, well, you gained all these experiences from different education systems, and when you came to university, you actually decided to uh, kind of find your own club, like build your own club, which was the AI and Data Society. So, what what kind of attracted your interest towards AI and data from math?
Well, I am. I'm always been curious about technology, and when I was studying mathematics a lot, I realized that many programming languages are built based on mathematics. So I got very curious. One day, I was introduced to ChatGPT, and instead of just learning how to use it, I actually started to dive deeper. How was it created? What algorithms, what equations was it used to make it? The more I got deeper, the better I understood the bigger picture and learned the existence of artificial intelligence. Then I carefully observed around university what clubs exist and doesn't. And we didn't really have artificial intelligence. And now intelligence is still in demand. I decided, why not open a club that will help many students to learn how to use artificial intelligence, get some knowledge, because it's very useful these days. And our club is mostly focused on artificial intelligence, but why I call data society? Because it's a combination between AI and data, but yeah, we thrive more on artificial intelligence and learning how to use the data in artificial intelligence mostly.
Got it. Got it. And if you could share your experience while founding this club and also more about how did your experiences at this club help you land opportunities, like real world opportunities?
Opening a club wasn't has been easy for me at the first step. And I had to learn how to lead the club, leadership. I even needed to research a lot about AI, think about the workshops we could host for students, and even hire people. What I gained the experience is that communication, terminology about technologies, all of that. And honestly, I've been searching for opportunities for the past 4 years, not having anything, but I never gave up. And I thought, why not do something different? Instead of going traditional way, for example, doing research papers or hackathons, why not open a club, gain experience from there, and then apply not in Canada or in America where it's very, how people say, it's just problem with jobs, but why not apply to other countries and experience something is that will give you more learning than just internship, but learning of you yourself, learning about yourself, who you are, what you enjoy doing. Opening a club, I applied through organization and it gave me opportunity to land on internship in Japan because Japan Japanese country company was actually very interested of my leadership skills. That's how I landed.
I see. So, of course, like as you mentioned, like the tech job market, especially in North America, is like really saturated, right? With all these computer science and engineers who are not able to get jobs even though they have these amazing portfolios, right? And landing an internship in Japan, I know was not easy, and they did look at your leadership skills with the AI and Data Society. Apart from this experience, what other experiences contributed to landing the opportunity there?
Well, I believe I participated in a few competitions in statistics society, and also I actually didn't have enough experience or things to share in my portfolio. It wasn't strong at all. However, I was given a chance to meet one-on-one in person with the interview. And besides having some knowledge in technology and in coding, which is not my strong point, what attracted mostly the Japanese company, the person from the company, is my personality. I think even if you don't have strong portfolio, that's okay. You can always apply. And in my portfolio, I posted my picture that so people could see who I am. And I was given a chance. That's why think instead of working, you should always work hard, but instead of always following the same traditional way to build strongest portfolio and get opportunity, do something different that no one ever thought of. Opening a club, writing a book about artificial intelligence or anything, creating the vlogs videos about the knowledge, or inventing something. Like, instead of always doing hackathons or doing research paper and trying to do always in this competition, have some uh, r- like relax in yourself. Don't push yourself too hard and always say, "Oh, I have to compete." That's how I wanted to say as a message. And I didn't have a strong portfolio at all, and I only had minor experience and a few things I've done. I only participated in club and in one competition, but my personality really helped me out there and my leadership.
I see. So, you talked about preparing for competitions and research as well. So, how did you prepare for your AI internship differently from traditional routes like hackathons or research?
let me tell you a small story. When I had the interviewer asked me to program in front of the in front of him in the cam and show him in the camera if I have some good knowledge in programming. I didn't. So what I did instead is that I used my mathematical knowledge. I I asked him, "Sir, is it okay if I can create a flow chart, a logic behind it in programming, how to solve the question and explain?" He said, "Go ahead, but it's a lot harder than just programming." I draw a perfect flow chart on the paper showing the whole logic step by step. How would you solve it without having strong knowledge in Python? And I learned that knowledge in my university. So applied real world, how flowcharts can be applied in real world application on interviews. And at that moment, I realized interviewers don't look for you to be perfect, just want to see how you think. So that's how I prepared for the interview. I also reviewed the behavioral questions and situational questions as usual, but about technical, I was worried. But instead of just practicing lots of programming and learn all those terminologies, I decided to take different approach, practice my flowcharts, how to think logically behind the coding.
Wow, that's such a unique experience, and that helped you land your internship. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, your internship was at Kisui Tech. Could you tell us more about Kisui and what the company does?
Of course. Um, Kisui Tech is Japanese company, but we hire international students as the interns or full-time work. So it's a very diverse company. It was built in 2021, founded by Dr. Tamir Bloom, and our main product that we built is robot Atom. Atom is electric rover that help farmers to move things from one side to another, like apple farm, vineyards. It navigates objects at night and it can detect objects what's in front, and either you can use as a remote controller and Atom moves, or it automatically moves. And yeah, we aim for better, higher, greener future, especially for the farmers. That's briefly what I can say about the company. Very friendly environment, and also we do, instead of using fancy machines, we usually build Atom ourselves with our hands, the robot rover. That's really it, I can say.
Wow, that's such a noble cause, helping out farmers, especially when agriculture is not just so important to Japan, but the world as a whole. So what was the most challenging part of working at Kisui Tech, and how did you overcome it?
I had a few challenges that are most challenging for me. So I would say the first challenge that I faced is adapting, understanding internship process. I was really scared that if I do one little mistake, I will lose it right away. Internship. However, I honestly adapted slowly because I had a really good advisor and people who supported me in the company. And they told me, Deniza, you will not lose internship. It's okay to make mistakes. You're a human being. Just be honest with us. If you're not if you cannot finish on time, then let me know. Let us know why. Second challenge I face is communicating with colleagues and coworkers. I was very shy at the moment because I I'm good talking with friends and with people who I've met first time. But when it comes to work, I didn't know how to act super professional or just being myself. So I always questioned. But slowly, I got used to the system. I looked around. How is everything? How everyone communicates? And I start communicating. Now, what we value the most is as long as we're honest with each other, respectful, then everything should be fine. The third challenge I faced is actually programming in Python. I had to use advanced machine learning, for example, uh, advanced like TensorFlow or PyTorch. Never done this before. So, what I've done, I learned how to do research. I was researching on Google and other resources and tried to learn. And once I found the answer, I programmed it. But if there was mistake, I learned the logic behind it, mathematical equations, and then I applied. Oh, that's where the mistake is, and fixed it. And that's how my codes worked. So I also had a supervisor who taught me how to the basics of programming, if statements, conditional statements, all of that. And yeah, but he also told me that I'm allowed to do lots of research. So I took my time and I always did research because at first I didn't know the answers, but I knew how to find the answers online. That's really it.
I see. I see. So it came from a lot of trial and error, but I believe that's what a learning experience is, right? Like you're not supposed to know all the answers, right? You you go to the role in order to find those answers. Um, so also you did this internship in Japan, and how did the cultural differences shape your learning experience in Japan?
First of all, I will tell you the differences in the cultures between North America and Japan. Japan requires lots of etiquette. People don't really speak English, but Japanese. And I actually had a tough time at first to adapt to this. But how it shaped me, it made me more mature. It helped me to grow a lot and realize about myself what I love, what I enjoy doing. And yeah, Japan changed me a lot to a better person in terms of being independent, learning how to time manage, be disciplined, and most importantly, in Japan, you're not allowed to be late because it shows bad etiquette and no respect towards others. The way you adjust and communicate with others, you also had to bow to the people, especially to elders. So it's really big a cultural difference, but it shaped me in a good way, made me a lot better person, and now I'm feel more confident in myself and in my studies at university.
Wow. Thank you for sharing your experience. And to kind of come to the final questions, I would like to ask you, what advice would you give to students who want to break into AI but don't know where to start?
Hmm. I want to say, first of all, it's okay if you don't know anything about AI. That's okay. What matters the most, the very first step, is curiosity and determination and passion. If you have all those qualities, then the doors and the answers will be open for you. Start researching. What is AI? Create a podcast, write a book, write your interest, write a story, do anything. Before participating in hackathons or doing any research, explore yourself about AI more. Do something. Open a club. Help students or tutor. Like, if you want to pursue AI field, then first learn what is AI, how was it created, who was it created by, what fundamentals do you need to know? Because when people are thrive for knowledge, success will come to them then. As they're saying, don't chase for success, let success chase you. Go for just chase after knowledge and success will come.
Right. That's very insightful, especially for students like me who are just starting out in this industry. So thank you for that advice. Um, Also, when I was doing research for this episode, I came across your LinkedIn bio, which where you mentioned growth comes from discomfort. Can you give an example where this was true during your internship?
Of course, growth comes from discomfort. It's meaning if you don't see any challenge and if anything is very easy for you, then you won't learn anything. You won't face any challenges. You won't grow as a person. But when you face challenge and take the paths that are not easy, you will grow as a person and roads will and doors will open for you. In my case, it happened when I was mentioning learning how to communicate with my colleagues and how to survive alone in Japan. That was very uncomfortable. Back in my home, I usually felt very comfortable when I got help and support. But in the world, in reality, it's not always the case. Sometimes you need to learn how to stand up on your feet yourself. So I had to learn how to cook, I need to learn how to take care of myself. That was very uncomfortable for me at first, but it helped me to grow as a person. And in internship terms, I want to say that learning how to find a research, not afraid to ask questions, helped me to grow a lot stronger. So growth comes from discomfort. It means always find always face challenge to grow as a person.
So what's next for you, and how do you see yourself using these lessons going forward?
That's a very good question. First of all, I want to those lessons that help me to grow as a person will help me a lot in academically. I'm aiming to graduate university and about the future hasn't decided yet 100%, but what I aim for is work again in Japan and do something on my own. For example, finish writing my own books, and do public speaking as a hobby, perform on stage, and work as a AI engineer intern. Not intern, just work as a AI engineer mostly. So, yeah, there's a lot of things I want to do in life, but slowly, slowly, one step at a time. And being realistic, I focus right now, aim to use all my knowledge and hard work and concentration to finishing university. That's what I aim for.
All right, so let's try to summarize everything with this last question. And you don't have to answer this last question in a technical way or anything. It's just for the people to kind of resonate with you. So, what is the best piece of advice you have ever heard or received?
The best piece of advice that I heard is from my dad. He always told me, always think outside of the box. Think differently. Don't follow the same system. Don't follow the same traditions. Think differently. The way you speak to people, or what you want to answer, or what you want to do. If you want to land a job or internship, think differently outside of the box. Meaning, okay, I don't have to do all the traditions to get internship. I can do something different that people can see me and offer me something. So that's the best piece of advice that I got from my dad. Always think outside of the box.
Got it. That was so insightful, and this entire episode was so insightful. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with me and my listeners. I'll look back to this episode when I am trying to find internships. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you, Deniza.
Thank you so much for taking opportunity to ask me questions. I really enjoyed talking. I hope everyone enjoyed listening and find my answers helpful. So, yeah, I'm always looking forward helping others. Thank you so much.
Thank you.